Welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of work on the Constitution model from Agora, and here is what we got in Shipment 3. We got these three plates, which I've already put numbers on everything, and they are going to build up. Let me double check. I know they're going to build at least 19 or 20 and 21. I believe they actually are going to build up to, double check here. Let's see. I'm looking at the instructions right now. Okay, so they're going to build 20 and 20. Would help you could see. And I've just got these kind of sitting in here, left from when I put them there. So this is rib 19. So we got ribs 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 according to what I'm seeing in the instructions. So we'll build those with these. What also came with it was the plan sheet number 6 to help you build 20 up to 25. This is from the previous episode. More of the planks. I think it's 2x2, or no, I think it's 3x3, 4x4, and 5x5 plank or wood. Let's double check. 5x5, 3x3, and 2x5. Another mahogany rod, so I now have all three of the initial masts, at least the bottom of the mast. And then these rings, which are going to help to position the mast as we build it. These rings the mast will slide right through there. So, quite a bit to do in just 2 packs, and it's really starting to take shape right now. So I'm going to go ahead and build up the ribs through 25. I'll come back once they're built, show you what they look like, install them. Then we're going to do more of the cross beams and the rest of the interior work. What is that? Oh, that is the one that I cut for here, and that was just a temporary thing because we're actually going to cut a separate one for in here because it has to have a gap in it like these two down here do, like the other two down below do, so that the mast can go through there. But lots to do, and initially I thought only 2 packs, but there's a ton to do in this, and it is getting awesome. They have released the instructions for both packs 4 and 5, and it's coming along really fast. We're going to be in packs 4. We're going to be starting to work the deck. Packs 5, we're going to start working the sides. But really impressive. Really excited for how things are going in the model. So if you before I pause this first segment, I want to make sure to remind you, if you'd like to get this model for yourself, hit the link in the description. It is available from Agora right now. It is a great build. I'm really excited about it. I'm really glad to be building this for them, and hope you continue following along as the build goes. I'm going to pause the camera here now and be back after I've done at least the ribs. Maybe I'll do the ribs and then I'll do some of the grid work inside. We'll just see how this video goes. So, I'll be back. Okay, so the ribs are done, and I had them sitting on the ship, had them just in place, and as I was moving it around, deciding to do something different to fix rib 5, which I've talked about many times, I actually took it off the stand here and started to move it, and I broke a rib. And, you know, it's not a bad break, but I noticed the wood you have to be really careful with, because I think it was mostly cracked through already. This is going to be easy to fix. It's just going to be a matter of gluing it back together like that. And I'll do it on the template framework like that, and then it'll be fine. But the other thing I decided to do is to stop screwing around with rib 5. Because rib 5 there was a noticeable bump here where rib 5 was. And so I very carefully, as carefully as you can, took a pair of needle nose pliers and popped each one of the cross members here out. And then I heated this using my heat gun, because it is wood glue. I heated it up just enough so that I could get this out. I did break the points off the very bottom, but when I put this back in, and it's going to be a little bit tricky doing the cross members on the bottom because I have to go past what's already there. But when I put this back in here and I push it all the way down, and this time verify that it's all the way down, it comes out perfectly flat. There is no rocking and rolling anymore. So something I did to fix it. The rest of them are, you know, they may not be 100% perfect, but they're far enough down that it's really easy to make it smooth. And it's going to save me a lot of heartaches here later on, because 2, 3, 4, 5. These ribs here were a little bit too high, and they were going to cause me issues. So I'm going to glue this back in. Once it's dry, once it's set, I'm going to either glue these back in or cut new ones. I'll get them glued back in and have to be very careful to make sure that I get them straight. Come on, go back in there. That in. You know, it's going to solve a lot of problems down the road. Once these are in, I'll continue on. I did decide, because I've watched a little bit on John Builds Iconic Models. He's building the Constitution as well, and I am going to take a page out of his book. Not all the pages, but just one. What he's doing is he's cutting off these legs on most of the ribs. He's cutting them off, cleaning them up, then gluing them to the board so that he can use them to support the ribs as he puts them in. He's doing like every 5th one staying on here, because he is absolutely correct. When it comes time to take this off the board, we have to cut 64 of these little legs off. His idea is fantastic. Too late for me to do it, but we'll see how things work out. But the other thing I'm going to do that I think is really intelligent or really smart, I'm not going to do like he's done, which is he's cutting the bottom 2 cross members here right off the bat. I've already glued these. I'm up to rib 25 out of 32, so I've got 7 more that I can do. He glues the 3 pieces of the rib plus the bottom cross member together and sets this one in, making sure that they are all flat, which I think that is a fantastic idea. I'm probably going to go ahead and glue this one in. He doesn't glue this one in. No, on second thought, I'm not going to. I know why. I understand now why he's not. He's not gluing this second one in, so he doesn't have to fight with it to get down and put the these pieces in. But I am going to, on these ribs, before I put them in, I'm going to cut this piece, glue it, cut this piece, and have it available just to make it a little bit stronger, and it'll help a little bit here, having this one already having the piece cut here, so that it's, you know, when the times comes, I can just glue it in there and it'll help this already broken rib. Rib is going to get put back together. It'll be fine. But moving along, taking everything off of here, and this will also help on putting this deck piece in here, because this is always a pain, and rib 5 has been a huge part of that. Let's see, there we go. Much easier. I've had a lot of problems getting this piece in because rib 5 was up on one side. But no, that's where we're at right now. Actually, this is rib 5 back here. That's where we're at right now. I'm going to get this put back together, so that get the glue in there and get these put back together so I can continue on. While I'm doing that, I will set these back on the template, cut the pieces, the cross members for them, so that those are ready, and then might do it on screen. Don't know for sure if I will, but I'll come back at some point and either glue these in, these next 5 ribs in. Oh, it's 5 or 6? It is 6. Glue these next 6 ribs in on screen or on video. Might just do one. You know, it depends on what I've got, you know, what I've got going on. And then I believe, if I remember right in the instructions, we're actually going to start going across. Let me make sure that is not the right page. Yeah, that is. The next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to start putting the third deck. We've got the bottom 2 decks. We're going to put the third deck in. Whoops. Wait a minute. Is that, which shipment is that? I think that's actually shipment 4. Yeah, I apologize. That is shipment 4. Let's see. But yeah, shipment 3 we do start. What I did was I looked at shipment 4. Shipment 4 has the whole keel with all the ribs done. Shipment 3 goes out here to rib 25, but we're also adding the 3rd floor in here. So a lot to go, a lot to continue working on. Gonna get these done, and then I'll come back and show you tidbits as I'm building it, because there's a lot going on here. We're going to start putting in the rings that are going to help to hold the mast in place. Just ton of stuff coming together pretty quick. To be honest, this video is now at about 15 minutes. I may break, let's see. Now stage 10, which is what I'm working on right now, will probably stay in one video, but I think we may start getting back to 1 stage per video, because I had a couple that were, the stages were shorter, but we'll see. We'll see that later on as we build. So I'll be back. And I'm back. And I just realized, looking at one of the previous segments, every time I tell you what I'm going to do in the next segment, and when for me it makes sense because it's a couple of days to get it all done. For you, it's like, this is what I'm going to do next, and then I do it. So I'm going to stop doing that, or I'm going to try and stop doing that. Here's that still infamous piece that I had to make for, I think it was rib 4. But so here's rib 21, and it was the one that was cracked. I think it was. Yeah, it was the one that was cracked right here. And what I've done on all of these is I glued the ribs together, and then I glued the cross member here, and all of them, the next cross member up is not glued in, so that when I put them in, this will be easy to get down to the next layer. And the reason I did that was when we did rib 5, which, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the one that's right underneath here. When I redid rib 5, after getting it loose and redoing everything underneath, down underneath, which you can't really see. You kind of can, but you can't. But it was a real challenge to get to the first level of the ribs, or the cross members. So what I've heard that people are doing, and I heard that it was John builds, I forget what it is, but he's building the same ship, and what he's doing, I've been told, is doing all the cross members, gluing them all together, and just at a glance, it looks like he's doing that because he has them like this. And I think some of them he may have the third level. But if you actually watch the video, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is exactly what I'm doing, and that makes sense. Because when you glue this in, you then have to get the cross bits down here. And if you have this bar in the way, it is a pain to be able to get your pieces in. So let me go ahead and pull this. Well, let's do things do an order here. So here we've got, and I've written on the bottom of each one, on the legs that will be cut off. That's rib 21. That's rib 20. And I'm going to try and make sure I keep the second cross member in place so that I don't have to chase them. They are not labeled, even though the ribs are. So here's 22. I'm putting them down the lower or highest number on the bottom. So we're going to stack these up just like this. Pull them off of here. The reason I'm stacking them that way is because 20 is the first one I'm going to need. So I'll pull these out of the way over here. Too much stuff on the desk right now. And this, again, is going to be one of those long, time-consuming processes. First thing to do is take that out of there. I'll set this here. That's across the upper cross member for 20. And these I'm probably going to start throwing away. These are scraps. I cut them all at the same time. They do work as the bits to fill in between the ribs, between the cross members on the ribs. But I've got to stack them here, and I have to sand them all down every time anyway. But so what we're going to do is we're going to set rib 20 in here. And let me double check. I've got rib 20. We're going to set rib 20 in here. We're going to double check it. And what my next step will be is to glue it into place. I just knocked this piece loose. It's not glued in, so it's okay. But to glue it in place, and to do that, I'm going to first, well, a couple of things I'm going to do. I'm going to put glue on it. I'm also, down here at the joint, I'm going to set it in place with these, and then I'm going to take the 1, 2, 3 blocks like this to make sure that it is in the correct, it's in the correct spot, and it is perpendicular to the base. I'm going to do that with all of them. I'm going to also, when I can, because yeah, see, that one won't work, but to keep it in place, keep it firmly down where it needs to be, I'm going to set a 1, 2, 3 block on top of it. I'm going to do each one in turn by itself, let it dry. Once they're dry, I'll move to the next one, shift everything over, just to get everything as perfect as possible. At that point, I will go back, I will do this lower level. I may come back and show you what it looks like. I'm not, no guarantee. I'll do the lower level cross sections, probably come back then, and I'm doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do. I can't help myself, but you know, we'll push through, and I will probably get everything done, or a major portion of it, before I come back to the video. Let me see, that will carry me through. So we're on stage 10. By putting those in, that will carry me through most of stage 10. I will come back and show some things on stage 11, because we've got some rings that we've got to put in that are going to brace these pieces, some flat square pieces and rings that are going to brace the masts in place a little bit better. And then, like I said, I'll come back, show that, and we'll determine at that point how long the video is and press on from there. Might do more, might cut it off there and go for another video after that. But we're getting really close to having this stage good, and I'm really liking how it's going together. So I'll pause the camera here, and I will be back to show you what I've done, and we will talk about that, or I'll talk about that when I come back. See you in a minute. Okay, I am back, and what we have to do next is, well, you can see here the grid work is done. What we have to do next is varnish everything here. Oh, that rib's not straight. Hopefully I'll be able to straighten it out. I knocked this rib off accidentally, and I thought I had put it together to where it would be good, but it's a little bit off. Might have to re-break this and fix it. Might be able to fix it just with these cross members between, because these pieces go in while we're gluing them. But next things to do, which I'll be doing off camera, is I just realized I never varnished the second set of ribs up here, and it looks like I didn't varnish the sides as well. Lower level, I'm not even going to try and varnish. I think I did varnish that, just not the sides of the ribs, so we'll take care of that. Then we'll varnish over here. Smart move is to varnish the lower level each time as you get done before you put the upper level in. Once all that is done, then I will put the cross members here and these pieces between them, and I'll come back after that to show you what it looks like and explain what the last things we've got to do before closing out this video are. So, hope you're enjoying it, and I will be back momentarily for you, probably several hours for me. This I actually did last night, so it's been a full day since the last segment. This build isn't difficult, it just takes a lot of time, as wood models do. So I'll see you shortly. Okay, it has been a few days in actuality, not just a couple hours, but this is together. The grid work is in here, the cross members, all the ribs are in. I did notice that one of my ribs, I got it in a little bit crooked, but I'm able to fix that. And I noticed with the mast work, with the mast, that there was a little bit of a discrepancy. Way back in part 1, or issue 1, part 1, however you want to put it, they tell you to put, let me pull this out, see if I can get it to come to me. It is in a very odd place to actually pull it out, and I had to snap it loose. Oop, dropped it on the other side. Hang on a second. It is difficult working underneath the boat right now. especially when the piece that I want fell to the other side. And it's not playing nice. Okay, so this is part 1-25. And in part 1 of the build, let me turn this other monitor on. I just turned it off for a minute. If it'll come back on. Okay, back in part 1 of the build, for this piece 1.25, is it? Oh, it was actually stage 4. In 1.25 says to put, specifically says to put this piece with the hole closer to the aft. And if you do that, I mean, you can do that. I had it glued in. I actually took a heat gun, heated it, the glue, so that I could get it back out. Let me go ahead and pull this up a little bit. And this is very important in this stage because this is where you're going to put in the pieces that will hold the mast, the second level. Okay, so that is back in with the hole to the aft. And if you put it in, put the mast in there, and both the masts at this point are, they've got the taper on them so that they'll fit in there. But if you put it in this way, let me switch cameras. Oops. That's why I had that monitor turned off, because it blows out the shot. So if you look at the rake of the mast, this one is almost straight up. This one is leaning back. It's supposed to be from, I've had a friend of mine look it up. It's supposed to be at about a 5-degree angle. And I was like, that's not right. I took one look at that, and I'm like, that needs to be fixed. So what I did was I took my heat gun, heated up, oh God, that's even better if it stays on there. Heated up the glue to where I could break it loose, turned it around, put it back in place, and it's not quite all the way down. Hang on just a second. It is like I said, it is a little bit of a pain to get in here. But if you do this early, before you glue it, or before doing all the ribs and the grid work above them, it would be a lot easier. Come on, get in there. And I was thinking I would leave it be and fix it later on. But I'm going to fix it. I've already fixed it. And what I did, you just heard the rubber band that I have holding this in place, holding the ribs in place, or the cross members in place. What I did was I turned it around to where the hole is now towards the front. Make sure that's seated. And they are not exactly the same. Matter of fact, they look really close. In person, this has a better rake than it does with the other one. Matter of fact, I think part of the problem is that this one is just a hair off. But the rake on the sails is better with that being towards the front. It tilts the mast back just a little bit. Matter of fact, let me take this out. Because if I take this out, okay, get that back in there. It's not live, but it is live recorded. Let me see if I can get that back down where it's supposed to be. Oh, that's the problem. I stuck it right back in the exact same way. I stuck it back in there with the hole still to the front, or to the back. Okay, come on. Where did I put my tweezers? I don't see them handy. Okay. So like I said, the hole was towards the back, towards the aft. The hole needs to be towards the front. And my problem was I stuck it back down with the hole towards the back again. Where did I put the tweezers? Oh, there they are. Moved them over there, where no tools belong. Oh, come on. Not playing nice. So there, hole is towards the front. That's right, I had it in the wrong spot originally too. It is not an easy thing to pull this back out and put it back in, but it is well worth the effort when the rake your sails is correct. And I have emailed Agora about it, saying that this is off. So now, if I put this back in here, right now it's loose. Let me slide this down on top of it, because this is to position your mast. Come on. This is a little bit delicate. This is where I'm going to snap ribs on, more ribs on video. And for some reason, that is not coming exactly the way I want it, but it is better this way. When I did it before, and when I glue it in place, it will fix the rake. This will be a little bit further like that. I will fix the rake to where they match. I was thinking I would leave it as is for right now, but, and there's part of the problem right there. I was going to leave it as is for right now, but I need to get it done before the next step, because we're putting more of the grid work on top of this. So let me go ahead and pause the camera here, and I'll come back, show you what I've done to fix it, and we'll go from there. So I will be back. So I did not do anything yet other than figure out what I was doing wrong before, because the rake is on them is now right. I'm going to leave this out when I change cameras, but I'm trying to keep these videos down around a half hour. And so right now I am on step 11 of stage 10, and that's where I'm going to cut this one off. I'll do the rest of stage 10 and stage 11, which will take me to the end of my parts in the next video. But let me switch over to this, and now you can see the difference in the rake of the sails, or of the mast. Before, this one was about here, now it's here. Once those are glued in, everything will be good, and I will make sure that I adjust how they sit, the angle that they sit at. And once I have the parts for the rest of it, once I have pack 4, I will make sure that the mizzen mast, the last one, matches the other two, and make adjustments as needed. I might have to, I don't think this is actual deck. I think this is just it's just a template to help you put things in place. If need be, I will do some sanding on it to make it fit. That's the joy of building with wood building a wood kit. So let me switch back over, because the other camera has such a better picture. So I hope you're enjoying this. Thank you for stopping by. This is a very, very nice kit. I'm enjoying it a lot. If you want to get this kit, you can reach out to Agora. There's a link in the description on where to buy this kit. It is a fantastic kit. It's a part work. They send you parts over either 12 months or 24, your choice. But if you go 24, they'll charge you every other month, or they'll charge you every month and ship every other month. Thank you for stopping by. I think I said that already. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new content. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the build. Let me know what you think of any of my builds. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video or stream.